and then you move on. When it comes to people just dropping comments to say things to you, that's how you deal with it too. Just read all those good ones that people say, yeah, well done, good job. I am sorry that I keep taking some of your time, but I am also being very, what do you call it, timely too. So we should normally have a break at this point, okay? Because we have reached the first 2 hours of the parliament. So we are going to spend another half an hour. And the parliamentarians that are currently on, let me bring others so that we can just round it up that way, okay? So these are other parliamentarians that are there. So, and these are those I'm going to wrap it up tonight with, okay? 5 minutes is our time, and I hope you would help me make that work. So, the time is going to start now. So, Mazi, I possibly have even said a lot that you probably just like, I'm just going to listen to him all the rest of the night.
My ego.
That's the way you are lying down there. It's like...
No, I'm ready to listen to you from now till, forever. That's just that. And most times I've tried to be on the parliament. However, I'm kind of like either I'm in a meeting or I'm going somewhere, but I'll just be saying it. I'm like, oh man, can I just get out of this place and just go join the meeting and all that? That's by the case. Now, just like you said, Mazi Prince, however, let me start my topic by starting from that of TB Joshua. In TB Joshua, I will classify the 3 things I want to speak on, which will be religiosity, whataboutism, and then bamboozism. When I mean religiosity, and then I mean Africa has so much been groomed into believing that church, mosque is where God lives, which is not true. God does not live in those places. Because even if you if you read the Bible very well and say you go through the Old Testament and all that stuff, you see that at some point, God led somebody like Moses to the bushes, and then you have the burning bush or whatever it is, and it was burning. And what did he say? He said, take off your shoes or whatever it is, because that place is holy and all that. That's by the way. There was no building there. And I've never seen in the Bible where it is that Moses went back there and built, had a structure over there. So church is not a structure. It's not a building. Church is living like a Christ-like. People like Peter, people like Paul, you see them in the Bible, they will say, oh, they'll go into the Corinthians, they go into the Galatians, they go into Ephesians. They are going there to see the people, to meet the people of same, they fellowship because they believe in Christ. The whole thing about this African their mindset about church is just that, oh, it's one man thing. Now he becomes, to the extent that the person now elevates himself to become deputy Jesus or deputy God, and start telling them things and all that stuff. I am not going to judge the dead. That all these things needs to.
Okay, I'm glad that we have you back. I think there is a disruption to the entire connection just now. I wouldn't know.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
I'm glad that I have you, so I'm going to let you continue. Don't worry.
Okay.
It's been done behind this in there, but in case if you can still hear me, right?
I can hear you.
Still hear you too. So please go on, Mazi, please.
So what I'm saying is, church is not a building. Church is those who follow Christ, a congregation of those who follow Christ. Now, I am not going to judge TB Joshua, but how do I feel that those things needs to be investigated? Yes, we have to. It's only in Africa they say, oh, let the dead, leave them alone. As if they're, come on, people. If we do not know how the water got into the boat, and the boat is sinking, how do we know how to solve the problem? Most of the pastors we have in Nigeria today or in Africa today have taken it as if they are mini gods, that they lord over their congregation. You see some people, most of the pastors sleeping with people's wives, raping the young girls and all that. A lot of atrocities are being perpetrated in both in the church and in the mosque.
Yes.
Now the thing is, I want every one of us to think about it. Those people who have come to confess, let us put our legs in their shoes. If we were the one, we're not saying that they should go and bring out, exhume the body of TB Joshua. We're not saying that. But let this thing be investigated. I have an in-law who happens to go to that church and said he was going there for a healing. Till today, we have not seen the man. And nobody knows where that man is. So when we're talking, I have a first-hand, I'm a witness to what, some of the atrocities.
Yeah, like personal experience. Different personal experiences.
And when we talk about these people, okay, if you look at, I believe close to people like Guru Maharaji. I have seen Jesus of Oyingbo. I have seen Olumba Obu in Cross River. This is not people telling me. I have gone close to those places and seen those things. And you see those people, they try to bring themselves as if they are holier than every other person, that we are just nobody. That as a matter of fact, some of them even claim to be God.
Yes.
Which is false. It is false. Test every spirit. Test every spirit. And what I can tell my brothers and sisters in Nigeria, please, church is not a building. Your pastor is just the same human being like you. Do not worship those people. The Bible detects all those things. It's not everything that they said that is true. Love thyself, love thy neighbor as thyself. That is the commandment that Jesus said. And Jesus said, not that he came to condemn the old commandment or whatever, but he came to fulfill that which has been written.
Thank you, Mazi.
Thank you.
Our time is right there, rolling. And thank you so much for that other perspective, the angle that you are also you've taken it from. And, we are so grateful. So thanks a lot, Mazi. You have a good one, okay? So, People's Parliament is a place where you are free to choose what you want to talk about and how you want to talk about them. And one other thing is that when you say your mind, other people watching are likely going to take you up, okay, and speak their own mind in opposition or even in support to what you have to say. And that's why we call it People's Parliament. It's like, it's like open conversation, and you have to respect people and their views as matured adults, individuals, okay? So, because we have another lady, Princess, with us tonight, the rules applies as well, okay? Gentlemen, I haven't really shared the slot again. I have Damilola Alabi. Thanks so much for your patience. You've been there for a while. Same with Prosper Chimaobi. You even kind of got cut off and you managed to get back as well. You might need to get the camera closer to your face even better than that once it is your shots, okay? So the way it's going to go is that Princess is going to go next as a ladies rule. Then Damilola Alabisa, you will go after her, okay? Then after you, it's going to be Prosper Chimaobi, brother. That will be you, sir. And then I am also going to take, the next person is going to be Chris Marian. Can you hear me, sir? So it's going to be you after Prosper, okay? And then I'm going to take on Jerry. Sir Jerry, Owabu Kenye. I don't know if I pronounce that right, but, Sir Jerry, that will be you, sir, after Chris. Please remember who you are after, because I may have forgotten as well, or mixed them up, so that it doesn't look like, oh, as if forgotten me. It's not that. It's just that I could mix them up, okay? Please help me. I always beg for that. Now, I haven't seen the face of Mr. Incredible, and I hope I could even close the night with Mr. Incredible. So, yeah, let's see how the time takes us. So, Princess, happy birthday. Anyway, so we have 5 minutes because of our time. So
5 minutes, yeah. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mayuga. Thank you all for the birthday wishes. I really appreciate it, and I'm happy to have you guys in my life. There is so much to talk about, and there is nothing we have not really talked about here before about the whole thing going on. A religion is, apart from believing the fact that, apart from believing the Big Bang Theory, so many other people believe that there is an higher being somewhere. That's why you have the Indians, yeah? They do their, is it Buddha they worship there, or Hindu, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You have the Japanese and Chinese and other people do, their Buddha thing. You go to the Middle East, you see them with Islam. You go to Jerusalem, you see them with Christianity. Africans are the only ones, yeah, that have misplaced priorities. We do not have our own thing. See, all these idiots that come around and say, oh, Jesus is Lord, or Muhammad is this and all that. They tell you your Ifa, yeah, Olokun Asorodayo is not a God you should worship. They tell you that is the devil. See, everything is so whitewashed that people are just very high on idiocy that you can't see. Mayegu, the thing is so, it is all about money. See, everybody talking about TB Joshua. Yeah, he's dead. If you're a thief, yeah, tó bá jẹ́ olè, yeah, tí bàbá ẹ jẹ́ olè, even when you're dead, yeah, let the coming generation know that there was a thief here. People saying you don't talk about which dead. Why under the old Jesus by the jugular? I mean, Jesus there alive. So if you have to talk about it, talk about Suleiman is still walking around now. If anybody is going to come out and say things about him, come out and say it now. Be bold about it. It is about money. You see these people buying private jets. Crowdfunding, what we call crowdfunding. That's what you go there to do. They attack the woman, they bring the woman closer. Yeah, immediately the woman is there. If we drag the husband in, it is as simple as that. You do religion, you do, and I said it here. That aside, I said it here, Mayeguna, they should check these bank votes for the money Emefiele stole. People felt I was bragging or I was talking out of point that night. I told them to check bank book. They should keep checking, these things are there.
One I heard today. Hey, what happened? What happened to our princess? Okay, I think that will be the network. Okay, that's another thing I was going to share with us tonight, but time won't let us. You know what I mean, for the People's Parliament. So, investigating Emefiele, right? They said that 4 banks, Union Bank rather, Polaris Bank, what other bank like that? Shall have all this about about 4 banks. They said these banks, the new owners who just bought them, they use Emefiele's central bank money, stolen money to buy the banks. And according to the investigator, Tifnumbu's investigator, they said $280-something million was found in the bank account opened for a 6-year-old. They didn't give details, just like they told you that they found 520 million pounds inside the fixed bank account in London. So today, the central bank has now kind of dissolved the board of all the banks. I was going to share that with you, but maybe we'll kind of talk more about that some other time. not tonight, where we have the People's Parliament. So now, I think we are currently having, some technical glitches that is, acting up right now. Okay, but I am still going to stick to those who are still here. I mean, like, see how sluggish is moving and all that. I'm so sorry about that. So now I'm going to go to Damilola Alabi. Sir, while we hope Princess comes back, I am going to stick to you, then the rest, okay? So you can unmute, sir, please. Oh, sorry.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Temple of Truth. It's been a while, and of course, I've always been online and listening. But tonight, I got the urge to call because of the guy that called from Nigeria, and because of Jude as well. The guy that called from Nigeria, he said a lot of things, but I want to add to what he has said. And of course, because I'm in Nigeria. He was right to say that Nigerians are animals and zombies and all of that. But I think calling Nigerians animals is even...
No, he said that there are some people, few people left, that before you know it, the next stage is going to be like zombieism, and that will be it over.
Right. That's where I'm going to exactly. I mean, he's probably undershooting the experience in here to say that there are few people left and in due time they will all be zombies. Because currently I'm seeing 99.9% of people here are zombies already. Like, a lot of things happen each day that I just feel, what is wrong with us? But sitting down as someone that thinks through a lot of things and all, I realized it is not our problem, especially not our generation's problem. It is our parents' problem. They have been defeated. That defeatist mentality is part of their genotype already in a way, such that whenever they see some of us that want to resist oppression and anything close to it, they start calling us Alaigboro or Moburuku. I mean, all those funny names. So currently, a lot of situation in Nigeria is just so disturbing. I don't know, what explanation would we give to people that fund a ritual of just collecting rice every December and January from politicians, and they are okay? I mean, Jenny. Rice, just that once, twice rice and die for nothing. I mean, I don't understand. And before you know it, because politicians do those little things for them, they praise them for free, such that whenever you come out and tell them, guys, you deserve more, you do this, you do that, they look at you as, what are you saying? Are you saying he has not tried? Blah, blah, blah. It got to a point where I started feeling these people, they don't even know what quality of life means. So to say Nigerians are animals is, to me, a disrespect to the animal kingdom. Because I realized one thing. I have animals I'm rearing. And I will say this, and everybody could give it a try. If you keep giving goats, ordinary goats, if you keep giving them the same meal every time, and they are in like a cage, you are not letting them go out, there'll be a time you give them the same food and they will not eat it. Even if they eat, they won't eat as much as they always eat. So that's to tell you that when they change this ration, we are not interested in this anymore. But Nigerians will eat the same lies over and over again, and they are contented. I mean, what else do we have to show that they are zombies? That's exactly what zombies do. Just throw them in one corner, in one direction, and that's all they would bother to listen to, and they won't even contest anything. And about religion, I think the same thing is affecting religion too. I was talking to a friend recently, and I told him, do you know that our politicians are very smart? They are allowing poverty to fester for their own wealth to continue to grow. because they know that the more they keep you in poverty and they feed you the little things they feed you, the more you vote for them and you recycle the same set of people every year. And guess what? With the religion, these people are so smart that they know that there is no heaven or hell anywhere. Because let me tell the Temple of Truth today, these people like good things. I mean, forget about it. Whatever bad we have to say about them, let's give them this accolade. Nigerian politicians, they love good things. And I don't want to believe that because of that affinity and love for the good things, they want to actually enjoy this world and go on and die and get somewhere that there will be punishment. So they know there is nothing like punishment, and that's why they are doing people like that. And lastly, I posted something recently too, and I got a lot of, I'm always active on Twitter, and of course, a lot of mad people are there. So I always get this backlash whenever I post anything. I said, criminals rule the world. And the truth is, I've looked at everywhere around the world. Yes, there are levels and degrees to the criminality. But the truth is, all of the world combined, anything called politics and all, they are just, especially that religion leaders and all of those, it is just criminals everywhere. You only need to calm down and see how they operate to realize that these are just criminal ventures and nothing else. So thank you so much, Temple of Truth, and
God bless you.
Talking to everyone again. Thank
you. You have a good one, sir. That's you know what I mean? Like, I actually, somebody said that the love is dominion. I'm like, I kind of love his composure, his dominion, and then his points too. And the way he presented them as well is like somebody just sitting down, speaking so quietly, smoothly, and insulting you. And you cannot even afford to get angry because he's not even shouting. He's just saying it like, and you are going to be there like, you are stupid if you believe this or that. Or for example, now, you do believe that and all of that, but that makes you stupid. You know what I mean? Instead of you to get angry, just be like, yeah. I like people like that. I wish I am like that. Where I can sit down and just gently, like, like a well-coordinated way of telling people what they are, and they won't get mad until later. Wait. Did he actually say that? Did he? Is that not what he meant by when he said that? Some of you don't use your brain, you use them like that. Say yes, sir. He's saying that and I agree with him. Yes, sir. You agreed with him. Yeah. Why? It says because of the way he said it. That kind of thing. So I love that. So Dami, thank you very much for that. That is brilliant. Now let's go on to we start next again. I believe it's Prosper. Is that Prosper? Yeah. Thank you so much for your patience. Okay. So, sir, you mind just, you know what I mean? What I told you about your face and all that. How whatever is convenient. Okay, just somewhere that we can see it clearly. Over to you, please.
Okay, the General. Good evening. Good evening. I'm sorry. Are you hearing me?
Yes, we can hear you and we can see you now. So it's perfect this way. We can manage it. Go on, sir.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you so much. Greetings, Happy New Year to everyone in the Parliament. So please, I will not take much time, and I'm not going to talk much about Nigerian politics because of we cannot keep repeating and discussing what we already know. If the kind of people that are in government now could be given the opportunity to rule, from those in the Senate, the President, and the other people who have left their party to join APC, and their case is cleared from the court. So there's nothing to talk about. Whatever is happening in Nigeria is normal. Like somebody call it Animal Farm, so it's normal. We don't look at it except there will be intervention in time to come. But talking about the happenings in the Christendom and religion in general, you see, I'm not surprised for what is happening. And today we are talking about TB Joshua because he's dead. Nobody is talking about people like Suleiman, people like Omoto Fair from Delta State, the other one now reigning in Zion Church and others. All what you are seeing now they're talking about.
You remember how the one that in Abuja also,
they're talking about, yeah, many of them. So nobody is going to talk about them because they are leaving. And the TB Joshua issue, I want you to have this in mind. The target is not because of TB Joshua. The target is, he has many foreigners who were his, what do they call them, wise men and all those things, whom the wife have laid out. So with Nigerian immigration, they are looking for a way to hunt the woman. So the woman now is the target. Forget about whatever they are saying. So I want to be realistic. The BBC that is bringing this issue, that make all this investigation, I want to go back to history. What good news has BBC ever brought to Nigeria or Africa? What good investigation about somebody who's done something good has BBC? I'm not against what they are doing. I'm not supporting TB Joshua. I'm not a religionist. I don't practice religion. I'm just on my own. So, but what good and what good news have BBC brought to Nigeria before? They're talking about TB Joshua, the negative part. What about those donations TB Joshua made to the Westerners during the earthquake and the hurricanes and all those things that happened? Those rices, those things TB Joshua sent abroad to give people that are affected in those incidents. Did they talk about it? Did they televise? Did they talk about the good side of TB Joshua? But they only talk about the negative side because he's a black man. What about the evil that this man did in Nigeria? The money, Rehabonke and all those things embezzled in Nigeria. What about the Bible schools he claimed he built in Nigeria and they claim up the monies, and in Africa they claim all the monies and go? Rehabonke and others. Has BBC talk about that? The slave book they give us called the Bible. The man they are calling Saint today, they call St. Peter, St. Paul, Saint whatever. Was he not the same man who were killing Christians those days according to their slave book? I don't know about that. They told us the Saul was the same man who was slaughtering anywhere you hear the name of God. He see you carrying the Bible, he kill you. But today he's a saint. He's being recorded as a saint. They call him St. Peter, St. Paul now. But they tell our own ancestors who has found or made us who we are today. They say they are evil. The shrines, the gods they worship there are evil. I want to remind everybody who is castigating TB Joshua today, or who is spreading the news. All of us that are here, in the next 100 and something years, we all will be ancestors.
That's right.
The same way they are calling your great-grandfathers evil today. It's the same way if you allow the Westerners and British, this is the same way they are going to make our children call us evil. Because this is our ancestors. Majority of them, if you go by history, those who call themselves the philosophies, the Pentagons and all those things, they all inherited all those things in Africa. And it was our ancestors they stole to their place that made them who they are. But just for you not to see the good part of your ancestors, they term them evil. The same people who term them evil is the same people who carried the same thing that they were worshipping to go and test run in their own side, to know how powerful and how strong it is. But they call them evil. And they bring their own people who have done all sorts of evil and call them saints in your presence. King Herod, in those days when they claimed they born Jesus, was a man who mandated the killing of all children from 7 years down. What kind of evil is that? It is the same Africa who saved the so-called Jesus. When they say Herod want to kill him, he ran down to Africa to save him. But they still call, what good have they talked about Egypt? The first medical school in the world, where this Pentagon, Aristotle, and everything school, it was in Africa, in Egypt. Do they talk about that? But they call you, your ancestors, evil. What good has BBC done to us? There are a lot of evil that has happened. But what is happening with the Pope today, who has come for you to bless the gay marriage? Is he also part of Christianity? Why are they not talking about that? What was the accusation? What about the accusation of kissing children and the blood stain of the wine in the Pope's cathedral? Why haven't they investigated that? Because they are white. What about the allegation of the children killed in the king's palace and whatever they brought up? The man who brought that information was a black man, but they killed him. Why haven't they talked about? How haven't they investigated the queen? How many children died there? I spoke to a British man here who told me, from that British man was where I learned how to call the Bible the slave book. It was a British man. But he called himself a scientist because he doesn't believe in Christianity or anything. So he called the Bible the slave book. And they give you the history of what is happening to the kings. So, brother, all these things they are doing now is what they want to do to us. And for we to keep haunting ourselves, like some here. The only thing Americans are doing is to send us ammunition to kill ourselves. The British is going to give us, like what BBC is doing now, to bring negative news and bad side of us. But they will never say good side of us. Among all the religious and all the posters that come to Africa, TB Joshua, I didn't say he's a good man, I'm not his fan, I'm not his member or anything. But going by the history, by what we saw on screen and other things, those donations he gives and all those things, those rights, I could remember lives of some footballer that he trained. He opened an academy. Why don't they talk about those ones? Why can't they investigate those ones and give us the good news of TB Joshua?
Yeah, Prosper, you do have a point there, but our time is your time is up, I would say. Well,
Okay,
to
thank
those,
you very much, my brother.
you raised some vital points there, like, wow, if there was no agenda, how come it's all the bad and all of that he did that they actually reported on? What about the good things? Like, even if they want to be balanced and all that, that's a very good point too. And when we are having conversations like this, those who are for and those who are against and all that, and every other thing you've also referenced, okay? Thank you so much, right, for this tonight. I hope next time we'll have light so that you won't have to leave out of the house and just quickly manage whatever light that is there. So I understand that too. So thank you so much for the effort. All right. So appreciated. Right. Okay. God bless you, sir. Now that's what I am saying. You can have conversation like adults where even if you don't agree, like I don't agree with him. Oh, I agree with him. You know what I mean? Everyone can still say their mind, and at the end of the day, we are all going to learn something new eventually. And that's the purpose of why we are here. I don't know how easy that is for so many people to say, did you learn something new tonight? No. And you have been sitting there for like 2.5 hours. I know. I'm trying to see if I can learn something new, but I haven't learned anything new. It can be difficult for some people to process that, okay? Now I have two other parliamentarians, because normally I think we're supposed to go to Chris, sir, yeah? But I could tell that Jerry is on the road. So Chris, I am just going to, because I want him to stop looking at us. I want him to concentrate, because a member of this platform once told me that they just couldn't let their eyes go up there. They were driving and they had a crash. And I've never forgot that. Like, I will never forget that. So, Jerry, sir, I would advise that, please, I will mute for you. And then I'll let you know that your time starts from now, sir, as well, okay? And the screen is yours.
I can pull over for a minute and then put in my short comment and then move on.
That would be great, sir. You are on the screen.
All right. So, all right. I greet you all parliamentarians. And I will just I've pulled over. So I would just want to say what dragged me into trying to be on the program this evening is the issue of TB Joshua. And yes, Prosper, I disagree with you, just like Mayegu said. I disagree with you because if any of us in the program or anyone else who will listen to this program never know what it looks like to, first of all, as people have said, we have been brainwashed. The system in Africa have brainwashed us, religion have brainwashed us. I don't know if a lot of us have watched videos or some presentations where some people in Africa were made, preacher made them go out and start eating grasses like goats or like sheep. And I just watch how people go out of the church and start eating grass. Then there are other cases where some ladies were bathed naked inside the church and some kind of way, and you will just sit down and say, these people, do they have their senses? Like what? And I don't care what religion you believe in or you are in. sometimes church preachers or goers convince you with so much and make you believe that whatever they're teaching you here is the best. If you don't do it, you will die. Or if you believe it, if you don't do it, and somehow make people get so much brainwashed and they turn to zombie. So now what DBC did, just commenting a little bit to what Prosper said, why I disagree with him, is the fact that they have not investigated everything in this world that ought to be investigated doesn't mean that if they investigate one, then that one is wrong or is false. Because if you know what it means to violate a lady, or to abuse sexually a lady, or to let people give in to their virginity unwillingly, just because they have no choice, just because they see you as a god. And I will say that see you as a god because I lived in Mafoluku when I was in Lagos, and I was working in Ajawa Estate. I think that may be when his church used to be in Ajawa Estate. And several times I will see this man, whenever the church, they are driving him past, or his motorcade is passing, a lot of people jump out, everybody running and bowing down and lying down and portraying for him. And that's a problem when he was still in Ajawa Estate. And I was like, are you serious? Now, a few years later, one of my friends that I think had HIV/AIDS began to go to his church. They gave him holy water. He came back home, started drinking it. A few weeks, few months later, he died. Another case, one of my uncle from village. That one is my uncle. Was so sick, his children carried him from our village back to what? One of his son in Edo State. They brought him to TB Joshua's church. That man, the way they brought him, that's the way they took him back. He died. Now, when people talk about miracle, you sit down somewhere and said, as we say that I won't call Bible slave book because I'm a Christian. I'm a real Christian. I will say I'm a Christian. But again, that's still why I say, when you are a Christian, they made you believe that everything Jesus did, Jesus, when he was doing his miracle, nobody come to him that didn't receive healing. In fact, that's why sometimes I wonder why people still kill him. The people he fed, the people he cured sickness, the people he healed in several ways. Are they not among the people that saw when people they were taking him and throwing him around and saying, kill him, kill him? They still say kill him. And apparently they killed him. So my point right here is TB Joshua from onset see himself as God, and people typically worship him like God. And I think that's unacceptable. Now, again, abusing people sexually, when these things are going on, if you know what it is, when people are brainwashed, as somebody have used the word zombie, which I agree, when people are brainwashed, they act like zombies. They do whatever they ask them to do in the name of God, in the name of salvation, in the name of don't get out of. I watched the whole 3 series of that show, but I could actually perceive, or I can see myself in that position if I'm brainwashed in that way, just like people all over the world are being brainwashed. So they tell people to kill Muslims, kill Muslims, Christians, kill Muslims, Catholics, kill Catholics. See what's going on around the world. People are killing their fellow members. In fact, even when you talk about brainwashing people, people are still brainwashed that when I go kill my ego now, I use his blood or his head or his private part and go somewhere, I'll become rich. And that's brainwashing. If you don't know, I mean, some people that watch movie Living in Bondage when it started from our Igbo side, I don't know about so many other people, but I think people around the world, because at the time they did what? They all right? They changed, they kind of subtitle it, right? That's what I'm looking for. They subtitle it and people were watching it.
That's right.
A lot of people still believe that Igbos kill their families, their father, their mother because they love money. A lot of people believe that if you go kill somebody now, you become rich, you get this and that. That's money comes from rituals. But I just be asking them, if you kill somebody and the person put the person in your cupboard, you open the cupboard, you call them Cynthia, you'll be vomiting money, money be coming. Who printed the money? Who CBN printed? Whose account was debited for that money to be credited into Cynthia's mouth, and Cynthia is vomiting it. But that's brainwashing.
What about the serial number of the money? Is it going to show?
That's what I'm saying. Well, yeah, which bank has money have numbers? So who put the serial number? Even money cannot be printed from anywhere other than what they call it, Nigerian printing and minting that prints money.
It's anywhere.
So who is printing that money? Where is it printing? Now you tell me the money come from a Union Bank account, and the spirit, the evil ghosts go to Union Bank account, or go to Mayegu's account, or go to somebody Dangote's account, or go to somebody's store where they would sell their market in Onitsha market, keep their money inside the store and keep it. Who come the next day and say they're looking for money? Several billions get lost. But people don't think it. They brainwash people's idea, make them believe that if you just do this, or as I am here now, I can just say, oh, and I'll disappear from here. Or in the night. What else again? Let me tell you about witchcraft in Benin. Am I supposed to now? That would be a long story telling you about witchcraft. These are brainwashing. These are brainwashing. And when people's mind are brainwashed that somebody human being can turn to a rat or a goat or a cat. Now, Mayego, let me tell you, this one should be important. When I was in Lagos, if people see cats, black cat, white cat is killed. But in America here, black cat, white cat, people pet it, love it so much. What is the difference? People see cats in Nigeria as a witch. Black one, that's even the worst. Because they feel like people have been brainwashed that these things are witchcraft. You see white cat, look at their eyes, these golden eyes, is devil, kill it. But that's brainwashing, and people believe it. So what I'm talking about here is TB Joshua spent time brainwash people's mind, tell them don't get outside this gate, I will kill you, nothing should happen, and all that, and abuse them. So I believe it. If you don't believe it, that might be you. But then it's not only TB Joshua. A lot of
Jerry is never going to listen to me. You know what I said about that? I said, because of the timing, okay? The moment I begin to say, this, that means I'm asking you to wrap up. And I understand that we could possibly be, we could continue talking like that, Jerry. I know you can hear me, okay? But our time is really overshot, okay? And I still have like 2 other people tonight before we wrap it up. I thought we were going to wrap it up by past, but it's now going to the end of the full hours now. So let me quickly go to Chris. So Chris, yeah, Jerry, thank you very much for that, by the way, okay? I think I'm going to look forward to when you're going to phone in, and possibly I could, kind of change the rules in that one, okay? But this one is actually like timing on the screen, okay? So let's go to Chris. How are you, sir? It's just 5 minutes, okay? And I hope it actually works enough for you too. Can you hear me, Jerry?
I can hear you.
I mean, sorry, Chris, rather, I said Jerry again. Jerry has taken almost all that. Okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Chris, I can hear you too, please.
Yes, it's nice talking to you today, and how are you?
Very well.
And I want to say a very big hi to the audience, and Happy New Year to everybody.
Same to you, sir.
Yeah, just a quick one. The last caller that was talking about black cats. I think I agree with him, because those days when I was growing up, we were meant to believe that when you see a black cat in the morning, your day is going to be bad. And years ago, when I traveled to Germany, I have this Turkish friend. Not really a friend of a friend. And the guy told me something that made me feel very bad. He said, in the Muslim world, in Turkey, is their belief that when they wake up in the morning and if they see a black man, if they wake up and the first they see a black man, right, the whole day is going to be a bad luck.
Wow.
And I couldn't believe when that guy told me. And that's the same Turkey every Nigerian is going to today to buy their wood, their furniture, which they got the wood from Nigeria. But however, let me forget about that. I just want to contribute tonight, and my contribution is going to be multidimensional. But first, I want to refer to the Liberian man. parliament we had the other time, right? There was this guy from Liberia that made a very huge contribution, very interesting and very educating contribution. You know, I fully agree with him. You know, when he talk about the Fulani hegemony agenda, which have become a super hydra in Nigeria. You know, that's eating into the fabric of our society, whereby they use religion and ethnicity. But today, I think that narrative, right, has changed. There's a new dimension to that narrative because I remember during the Buhari time, during the Jonathan time, the 10 northern states governors went to America, to Obama, to accuse Jonathan of killing their people because it was really fighting, it was gaining ground on Boko Haram.
That's right.
I remember Roger Nicholas. Was he a captain or a lieutenant or a colonel who led the troop then fighting Boko Haram? The guy was gaining ground. He was really killing them and displacing them, you know, from all the regions that they were in the northern area in Borno. Then I remember Borno. I'll talk about that, right? Before I go further, right? I saw, is it Bola I saw today on telly with Tinubu? Bola.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yes, that's Bawa.
That's unbelievable. It can't be Boala. It can't be Boala.
Boala, that's his name. Look on your screen.
How can Boala all of a sudden said he's supporting Tinubu? Boala is from Borno State and is a Christian. And he said he never supported this government because they did a Muslim government because he's a Christian from Borno State and he understands how they are killing Christians in Borno State. The same man today is with Tinubu. I can't believe it. That's going to show you that Nigeria, the problem is the politicians. But further on, let me go to why I'm contributing tonight, right? Yeah. The Nigerian man got it right? But the narrative has changed because the people of the northern region has realized. I remember those days when I was a student. I finished my secondary school in 1978, Notre Dame College, Ozoro. I remember that a lot of my classmates were changing their name to Muslim name to attend university in the north because we in the south, where the oil comes from, we have to pay school fees. In the north, the 10 northern state then was free education. Up to university level. You understand what I'm trying to say? Then the military was in power. Now, but narrative has changed. Those people have realized when Buhari came to power that they are not members. The North Central realized they are not Northerners. There's nothing. They don't have anything in common. So that was why that's why I'm trying to say that narrative has changed. Then my second contribution, my second contribution is about the TB Joshua.
Yes,
first of all, we have to ask, who is TB Joshua? TB Joshua was a disciple of Professor Pella, the magician. TB Joshua was an errand boy for Professor Pella, the magician. When Professor Pella died, people even allege that he killed Professor Pella. But I don't want to go into that. After Professor Pella died, he became a Christian. He was a Muslim. Pella was a Muslim. He was a Muslim. Now he became a Christian, and he opened his set of the synagogue. All of a sudden, it became a household name.
That's right.
But if you remember, in the 1990s, Kola Olawuyi,
yes, sir,
has a program on the radio on Cambe. I remember then he talked about this issue about what TV is doing, what they are alleged of doing today, right? There was a scandal about it then, but the Nigerian government never paid any attention.
Yes, sir. He also showed videos, if you remember. He didn't.
Yes.
He interviewed people, the victims, all of them and all of that. But Nigeria didn't respond, and the story died. That's why I said that people who are seeing this today, they may be alarmed. A lot of us have, when there was no internet, no nothing. We have seen a lot and heard a lot about Joshua. That today we are not really moved. Or if they are looking into his crime and all of that, or trying to give all his victims closure, people should not try to shut them up because, oh, they are targeting him. But that's me, and I'm glad you are mentioning it too. Go on, sir.
That's the problem with Nigerians. Even I think about 10 years ago, my niece, Ejiro, had was, you know, I don't know if after at what age, at the age of 18, he developed sickle cell, and that's very unusual. And she was going paralyzed. they are paralyzed. And when they come in England, I said, how can they be? If you are sickle cell, you are sickle cell from birth. How can somebody be sickle cell from 18 years of age? I've never heard of that before. The next thing I knew, they took her to synagogue. So when I called my uncle from England, then I said, where is Ejiro? He said, Ejiro is TB. I said, immediately, uncle, immediately, can I come up for that? You won't kill the girl. You know what they told me? They said, Chris, we are even surprised since we've been to that church. They gave us a hotel we have to pay for, which was very expensive. Then she's not been able to see TB Joshua. This is the last 2 weeks. They only take them to a room. All the people that have got problems, the people that are paralyzed, they take them to a room. They don't have access to TB Joshua. They only come in the morning, tell them to buy water for 5,000 naira. That's what they be buying. I say, uncle, that guy now from 19 now. That guy now, guy man. Carry picking come out there if you not make your picking die. That was how they took my uncle actually listened to me. They went back to Warri with my niece. Then fortunately for her, our senior sister, another of my niece was in Abuja doing a UCOM. So some of our mates, medical doctors working in the hospital as coppers, she tabled the situation before them. Said, this is what happened to my niece. Then they told her, said, if your sister has not had sickle cell from birth, right? It's very unusual for her to have sickle cell at the age of 18. So they traveled back to her to Warri and look into the case, took her to General Hospital in Warri, and they attended to her. Today, my niece is okay, walking fine, nothing like sickle cell. It wasn't sickle cell, it was a different thing entirely. It was a wrong diagnosis.
Misdiagnosis.
I'm telling you. So that's the problem. You see, Nigerians, right? What I'm trying to say about all this matter is that all these things happen because we allow it to happen. We allow this nonsense to happen. You shouldn't take BBC to bring up this thing to the forum or to the forefront for us to know that all these Pentecostal churches, all this look, what is this guy's name again? This musician that tell me that Koolu wife was raped by their pastor. The Christians, yes. Yeah, the Christian Association of Nigeria protected that. I remember. Yes.
I don't know what is going on. Like my system is just when people are talking, it's just gonna like push you out. It never worked. I mean, it never happened that way. Could we be having some spirit around tonight, Sir Chris?
Yeah, I'm having. Yeah, TB Joshua, please be sorry for me. I'm going to punish you. Get out!
I know.
So what I'm trying to say is that all these challenges that happen in Nigeria that that is taking BBC to come to the forum to I can't hear this guy.
You can continue talking. I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. What I'm trying to say, right? It shouldn't take BBC to come to the forum, right, to tell us what is happening. A lot of the churches in Nigeria are guilty of these fucking offenses that we're sorry for swearing about all these offenses, right? That's been leveled against TB Joshua. A lot of the churches in Nigeria, and one thing that is working against Nigeria is that we have all these states self-acclaimed organization like the Christian Association of Nigeria. There shouldn't be any Christian Association of Nigeria. It should be government regulation, regulate the churches. Pass legislation that this is if you perform miracles, if you want to perform miracle, go to the hospital and perform your miracle. Heal people in the hospital. No church leader should perform miracle anywhere. This church shouldn't be a business organization where they'll start building a real estate, buy houses and all these things, selling to building schools, right, where their members can attend. All this nonsense, you stop. For example, in England, is there anything like Christian organization? The Catholic have the organization. The Church of England have the organization. There's something like Christian Organization of Nigeria where they protect all this nonsense. TB Joshua was a criminal and he should be treated like a criminal. He's been doing this thing for years.
Thank you so much. Because of our time and we are like almost at the tail end of it. So thank you. And you see, people who have a lot to really share with us. I'm talking about real life experiences and all of that. Maybe when we have a proper program, you'll be able to phone in and we can actually discuss this further. Thank you so much, Sir Chris.
Yes, nice talking to you, man. Yeah, take it easy, man. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. So it's going to be me and Mr. Incredible now. And it is you and I that are going to close the night. I have a few other people who are still pretty much behind the scene when it comes, like they want to get through. I am so sorry we won't be able to do that anymore tonight. Our time is far gone. I am sorry that somehow you kind of came in late. Mr. Incredible, your own 5 minutes also starts from now. Baba, please.
Baba, good evening and a happy new year to you and to everybody watching me at the moment.
God bless you, Baba, please.
Well, I don't have much to say. I will make everything snappy because it's already late and I don't want to keep you waiting.
That's fine.
And concerning TB Joshua, I don't have any topic to say about him because I'm not here to judge him. It is God that called him. Let God judge him because for me, I can decide tomorrow to be a pastor too. I'll just sleep and wake up. I will tell everybody that God have called me. I'll look for a small container and only for members. So it's left for him and God. My problem is Nigeria government. That is where I want to put my mouth on because that is what affects me, not TB Joshua. Nice. Concerning Buala, it's not surprised that he has gone back to APC. It's what everybody know, and we shouldn't be surprised. Dino Minaye, maybe tomorrow again he will start praising Tinubu that is the best president and is the best that will happen to Nigeria because everybody is looking for what to get. We are in a transfer period now, like in football. The window is open. So many changes have to be done.
Now, January window.
Yeah, January window is open. So people can transfer here and there. But the main problem is why is Nigeria still quiet about everything? It's like they are used to all this thing. Up to now, I cannot believe that Nigerians have not even protested for what happened during the election. Now everybody's hoping on 2027. What changes do they expect? What changes do they expect in 2027? Now that Koolu is the president, and they think they can be able to vote. This time around, they will tell them not to open their door and come outside. They will announce the result, and nothing we can do. As long as this what's his name again, Mahmoud is still there, nobody's protesting against him. Everybody have moved on. Life goes on, waiting for 2027 and what's his name again? This former governor of Benue State has endorsed Tinubu. Now Buala have endorsed Tinubu. Maybe tomorrow again, like I said, Dino will abandon Atiku.
The year is still early.
Yeah, the year is still early, so the window is still open. Everybody is now watching Tinubu. The Tinubu that they have condemned before, they called him drug lord. They called him hand they shake, who's the shake. Now he's the best.
But he's now trying to get on board and get his own share.
Yeah.
So who believe them? The people who actually believe that these politicians are on their side are the people I always feel sorry for. And I'm feeling sorry for anybody now. Like I'm actually getting because they kind of repeat the lies again and again. And these people are there to buy it. Like you said, 2027, they're already telling them on how to do coalition.
Yeah, coalition. Who and who is going to coalition?
You have no idea you are doing coalition with Abi. So when they now again, we'll be back here again and begin to say, man, look at what they did. They say, but I've been for 4 years that this is what will happen. Now you're acting surprised. Okay.
Yeah. And now they're waiting for 2027 again will come, they will do them the same magic and they'll say 2031 or what's it called? Let's hope on 2031.
2035.
Yeah, I don't. My brother, I'm really. If I tell you I'm not tired of Nigeria. I'm really tired. So that's I ask myself, why did they give birth to me to be a Nigerian? Who did I offend for them to put me in Nigeria?
Like, well, no, why do you create me in this Nigeria? What have I done? What is my sin? You do ask God too. Listen to where is this guy? Pastor, is it called Pastor Solomoni? I've been Prophet Solomoni was like, God,
my brother, anything pastor, prophets, I'm not interested in them because they are the one also destroying Nigeria the more.
Anyway, thank you so Mr. Incredible.
Yeah,
It's-
brother.
Yeah, it seems that we've come closer to the end of the whole show tonight, and
Okay.
I mean, like, you know, we can tell that the first 10 days in the 2024 so far so good. I
Yeah.
know show to everybody what the rest of the year is going to be like. Anyway, you know,
Exactly.
So if everyone is putting their hope on any of these clowns, it's no longer the fault of the clowns or the criminals. It is actually the fault of those who believe them. That's my belief.
Yeah.
Mr. Incredible, thank you very
Yeah,
much,
brother.
for tonight.
I wish you good night.
And you too. You have a wonderful evening there. Okay.
All right. Yeah. Bye.
Nice one. So, guys, our time is up, and we've had our chat tonight. Okay, and I know that you know, like I said, the parliamentarians who are still in the parliament building, but because time is up, they won't be able to make that contribution tonight. But we will do that some other time. Okay. I mean, this is 2024. We'll have our People's Parliament again. Maybe at the end of the month or early next month. Okay. So I have enjoyed my evening with everyone who chose to be part of it this night, and to those who are going to see this broadcast later as well. Okay. Individual contribution are the personal views of the contributors. That's why we call it the People's Parliament. So, and yeah, I want to say thank you to you once again. Remember, you should like this broadcast before you leave, if you haven't done that already. Okay, I'm going to see everyone some other time, or I'm going to see you next time, rather. So you all have a wonderful evening. Good
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun Diary, lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun Diary, gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun Diary, àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun Diary, bó bá ṣe rere àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun Diary, ó sì tún ṣe rere wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun Diary, Diary politico. Mayegun Diary, Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun Diary, ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun Diary, àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary, àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Mayegun ti dé. àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Mayegun ti dé. lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Mayegun ti dé. lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Mayegun ti dé. bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Mayegun ti dé. ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Mayegun máa wí. àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Mayegun ti dé. Presido bá rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Mayegun ti dé. Kíkó nìna kówó jẹ. Mayegun máa wí. àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Mayegun ti dé. ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá. Mayegun máa wí. àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Mayegun ti dé. aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Mayegun ti dé. òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Mayegun máa wí. àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Ayé.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Ha! Kì máa yí ṣeré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣeré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.